Good day, everyone. Today I want to speak about something straightforward but deeply important: stupidity. Now, I'm not here to insult anyone. I'm here to challenge all of us, myself included, to reflect on the moments when we've acted against our own best interests or ignored common sense. Stupidity isn't a permanent trait, it's a choice, and the good news is we can stop making that choice. What does it mean to be stupid? It means turning away from knowledge when it's available, refusing to learn from our mistakes, or following the crowd blindly, even when our instincts scream otherwise. It means ignoring opportunities for growth or living recklessly without considering the consequences. And let's be honest, we've all been there. But here's the truth: life is too short, too precious, and too full of possibilities to keep walking down the same path of ignorance and regret. So how do we stop being stupid? First, we must own our decisions. Accountability is the foundation of growth. The moment we stop blaming others for our problems and start asking, "What can I do to fix this?" we begin to shift from foolishness to wisdom. Second, we must seek knowledge relentlessly. The world is overflowing with resources, books, mentors, experiences, but they mean nothing if we refuse to learn. Ignorance in the age of information is a choice. Third, we need to listen more. Too often, stupidity stems from our refusal to hear perspectives that challenge our own. It takes humility to admit we don't know everything and courage to accept that someone else might know better. We must take action. Wisdom without action is wasted potential. It's not enough to know better, we have to do better. It's in the doing that we transform ourselves and the world around us. Let me ask you, are you ready to stop being stupid? Are you ready to stop repeating the same mistakes, ignoring the signs, and settling for less than you're capable of? Because the moment you decide to take charge of your life, you step into your power. Remember, this: stupidity is not a permanent condition, it's a habit, and habits can be broken. Let today be the day you choose to live smarter, bolder, and more intentionally. Accountability is the cornerstone of personal and professional growth. It is the practice of owning your actions, decisions, and their consequences, both positive and negative. In a world where it's easy to point fingers, blame circumstances, or find excuses, accountability sets apart those who are willing to grow from those who remain stuck in cycles of mediocrity. At its core, accountability means looking in the mirror and admitting, "This is on me." It means recognizing that while you may not control everything that happens in life, you always control your response to it. This mindset is empowering because it shifts you from being a passive participant in life to an active one. Instead of feeling like life is happening to you, you begin to realize that you have the power to shape your future through your actions. One of the greatest benefits of accountability is that it eliminates the victim mindset. When you blame others, your boss, your partner, the government, or even the weather, you give away your power. You're essentially saying, "I'm helpless to change my circumstances." But when you take responsibility, you reclaim that power. You acknowledge that while external factors may create challenges, your choices determine how you navigate them. Being accountable also fosters trust and respect in relationships. Whether it's in your personal life or at work, people appreciate honesty and integrity. Admitting when you've made a mistake, apologizing sincerely, and taking steps to correct it demonstrates maturity and reliability. It shows that you're not afraid to confront uncomfortable truths and that you value growth over ego. Accountability doesn't mean beating yourself up for every failure, it means learning from them. It's about analyzing what went wrong, identifying what you could have done differently, and applying those lessons moving forward. This process builds resilience and ensures that mistakes become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. However, accountability requires courage. It's not always easy to admit when we're wrong or to face the consequences of our actions, but avoiding responsibility only prolongs the problem. When we take ownership, we take control. We give ourselves the chance to fix what's broken, rebuild trust, and grow stronger. How can you practice accountability? Start small. Set clear goals for yourself and track your progress. When things don't go as planned, resist the urge to make excuses. Instead, ask yourself, what could I have done differently? Be honest with yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. Surround yourself with people who challenge you to be better, and be open to their feedback. Remember, accountability isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about owning your journey and committing to becoming a better version of yourself every day. When you embrace accountability, you unlock your potential and set the foundation for a life of purpose, growth, and success. Pursue knowledge relentlessly. The pursuit of knowledge is one of the most powerful tools we have for personal transformation and success. To pursue knowledge relentlessly means to develop an insatiable curiosity about the world and a commitment to continuous learning. It's about understanding that knowledge is not static, it's an evolving resource that fuels growth, adaptability, and wisdom. Why is this important? Because ignorance in today's world is a choice. We live in an era where information is more accessible than ever before. Books, online courses, podcasts, mentors, and even simple conversations with others can teach us invaluable lessons. Yet, despite the abundance of resources, many of us stop actively seeking knowledge after school or college. We get comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of growth. Relentless learning doesn't just mean studying in a classroom or earning degrees. It's about cultivating a mindset where every moment, every experience, and every interaction becomes an opportunity to grow. Whether you're learning a new skill, understanding a different perspective, or reflecting on your own mistakes, the pursuit of knowledge keeps you evolving. One of the biggest benefits of relentless learning is adaptability. The world is changing at an unprecedented pace, and those who refuse to learn will inevitably be left behind. Jobs evolve, industries transform, and challenges arise that demand new solutions. By consistently seeking knowledge, you prepare yourself to adapt to change rather than fear it. You become proactive rather than reactive, ready to face the unknown with confidence. Knowledge empowers decision-making. When you're informed, you're less likely to make impulsive or poorly thought-out choices. Instead, you approach problems with clarity and creativity. Knowledge also builds self-confidence. The more you learn, the more competent and prepared you feel to handle life's challenges. But pursuing knowledge relentlessly requires effort and humility. It demands that you acknowledge what you don't know and step out of your comfort zone to explore it. It means embracing failure as a learning opportunity rather than a setback. True learners are not afraid of being wrong, they see mistakes as necessary steps toward wisdom. How do you cultivate this habit? First, make learning a daily practice. Read something new every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Listen to podcasts or audiobooks during your commute. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you intellectually. Seek feedback and be open to constructive criticism. Second, diversify your learning. Don't limit yourself to one area of knowledge. Explore topics outside your field, engage with people from different backgrounds, and question your assumptions. The most innovative ideas often come from connecting seemingly unrelated concepts. Commit to lifelong learning. The pursuit of knowledge isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about knowing everything, but about constantly expanding your understanding of the world and yourself. When you pursue knowledge relentlessly, you unlock doors to opportunities you never imagined. You grow in ways you never thought possible. And most importantly, you become a person who is not only prepared to face the future, but to shape it. Knowledge is power. And the relentless pursuit of it is the key to unlocking your full potential. Listening and learning are two of the most underestimated yet transformative skills you can develop. Too often, we equate learning solely with books, lectures, or formal education, but one of the richest sources of knowledge lies in the voices of others. Listening is not just about hearing words, it's about understanding, connecting, and growing through the perspectives and experiences of those around us. True listening requires humility. It begins with acknowledging that we don't have all the answers. Each person you meet knows something you don't, and every conversation is an opportunity to expand your understanding of the world. However, listening goes beyond simply waiting for your turn to speak. It means being fully present, setting aside your biases, and genuinely seeking to understand what the other person is trying to convey. Why is this important? Because the inability to listen is often the root of misunderstanding, conflict, and missed opportunities. When we fail to listen, we limit ourselves to our own perspective, missing out on valuable insights that could challenge and broaden our thinking. Listening enables empathy. It allows us to see the world through someone else's eyes and connect on a deeper level. Learning through listening is particularly powerful because it's rooted in real-life experiences. You can learn more from a mentor, a colleague, or even a stranger's story than you might from a textbook. People's lived experiences carry wisdom that is nuanced, raw, and irreplaceable. Whether it's learning how to navigate challenges, discovering a new idea, or understanding cultural or emotional differences, listening helps you grow in ways formal education often cannot. Moreover, listening helps you build stronger relationships. When you truly listen, people feel valued and respected. They open up more, offering you deeper insights and fostering trust. In personal and professional settings, the ability to listen attentively is one of the most critical skills for effective communication, leadership, and collaboration. However, listening is not passive, it's an active process. It requires focus and a willingness to engage with what's being said. To truly listen, you must silence your internal dialogue, resist the urge to interrupt, and let go of preconceived notions. Ask questions to clarify, show genuine interest, and reflect on what you hear. Learning, on the other hand, comes after listening. Once you've absorbed what someone has shared, it's up to you to process that information, reflect on its implications, and apply it in your own life. Listening without learning is wasted effort. The goal is to grow from what you hear. Knowledge is powerful, but only when it's put into action. Knowing the right thing to do, understanding a concept, or having the skills to succeed means nothing if you don't use them. Acting on what you know bridges the gap between theory and results. It's the difference between merely thinking about success and actually achieving it. Too often, people fall into the trap of learning endlessly without taking steps to apply that knowledge. This is called analysis paralysis, when you spend so much time preparing, researching, or overthinking that you never move forward. It's easy to get stuck here, convincing yourself that you need more preparation before you begin. But knowledge without action is wasted potential. Consider this: you can read every book on fitness, understand every nutritional fact, and know the best workouts, but if you don't exercise or eat healthily, nothing will change. Similarly, you can attend seminars on personal development or business growth, but if you never take risks or implement what you've learned, you won't grow. Action is the catalyst that transforms ideas into reality. Why is it so important to act on what you know? Because progress happens in motion, not in contemplation. Every step you take, even if it's small, builds momentum. With action, you gain experience, which is the most effective teacher. When you apply knowledge, you uncover gaps in your understanding and discover what works and what doesn't. This feedback loop helps you refine your approach, improve, and grow. Moreover, acting on what you know builds confidence. It's not enough to simply know you're capable, you need to prove it to yourself through action. Each step you take, no matter how imperfect, reinforces your belief in your abilities. Confidence isn't born from knowledge alone, it's born from the courage to act on that knowledge and see the results. But acting on what you know doesn't mean you have to wait until you feel ready. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. Taking action often feels uncomfortable because it pushes you out of your comfort zone. That's where growth happens. The most successful people aren't those who waited for the perfect moment. They're the ones who started despite the fear or uncertainty. Another critical aspect of acting on what you know is consistency. One big effort isn't enough. Real change and success come from sustained action over time. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, and doing the work. Whether it's building a business, improving your health, or nurturing a relationship, consistent action leads to long-term results. Here's how you can start acting on what you know. Set clear goals, identify what you want to achieve, and break it down into actionable steps. Knowing your direction gives purpose to your actions. Start small. Don't let the fear of failure or the size of the task paralyze you. Take one small step today. What matters is starting. Embrace imperfection. You don't need to know everything or have the perfect plan to begin. You'll learn and improve as you go. Take accountability. Hold yourself responsible for acting on your knowledge. Track your progress and reflect on what's working and what isn't. Persistent action isn't a one-time event. Keep going, even when you face setbacks. Persistence transforms effort into achievement. Study, evaluate, and adjust after acting. Evaluate the outcomes. If something doesn't work, adapt and try again. This process sharpens your approach and leads to better results. Remember, knowledge is like a seed. It holds potential, but it won't grow unless you plant and nurture it. The world is full of people with great ideas and big dreams, but only a few take the steps needed to bring them to life. Don't let fear, doubt, or procrastination keep you from realizing your potential. Acting on what you know isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. The more you act, the more capable you become. You don't need to have all the answers to start. You just need to start. Success comes to those who are willing to take risks, make mistakes, and keep moving forward. So, take what you know and do something with it. Your future self will thank you. Stupidity is often misunderstood as an inherent trait, something fixed or unchangeable. But in reality, stupidity is a habit, a repeated pattern of choices and behaviors that stem from poor decision-making, lack of reflection, or refusal to grow. Habits, unlike traits, are learned behaviors. This means they can be unlearned and replaced with smarter, more thoughtful actions. Habits form through repetition. When we consistently ignore advice, refuse to learn from mistakes, or act impulsively without considering the consequences, we develop a pattern of behavior that can seem like stupidity. Over time, these habits become automatic, influencing how we approach decisions and respond to challenges. It's not that people are born foolish, rather, they fall into routines of thoughtlessness or neglect. One major contributor to the habit of stupidity is a resistance to change. Humans are naturally creatures of habit, and breaking out of comfortable but unproductive routines takes effort. For example, someone who repeatedly procrastinates, even when they know it will harm them, isn't inherently incapable. They've simply built a habit of avoidance. Similarly, someone who refuses to learn from failure isn't unintelligent. They've developed a habit of ignoring opportunities for growth. Another key aspect of stupidity as a habit is the tendency to act without reflection. Many people rush into decisions without considering the consequences, relying on impulse or emotion rather than logic. This repeated behavior reinforces poor outcomes, creating a cycle of regret and missed opportunities. Without the habit of pausing to think critically, it becomes easy to make the same mistakes over and over again. Stupidity as a habit is also fueled by ignorance. In an age where information is abundant, choosing not to seek knowledge is a deliberate behavior. When people stop asking questions, avoid challenging their assumptions, or ignore valuable resources, they cultivate a habit of remaining uninformed. This isn't a sign of inherent lack of intelligence, it's a pattern of avoiding the effort required to learn and grow. Another factor is the refusal to take responsibility. Blaming others or external circumstances for personal failures is a common habit that reinforces unproductive behavior. When someone refuses to acknowledge their role in a problem, they miss the chance to learn and adapt. This cycle of deflection prevents growth and creates the perception of foolishness. Habits, whether positive or negative, thrive on repetition. The more we engage in thoughtless, careless, or reckless behaviors, the more natural they feel. Over time, these habits become second nature, and the results, poor decisions, missed opportunities, or recurring failures can make us feel stuck in a pattern of stupidity. But because habits are learned, they can also be unlearned. By consciously recognizing unproductive behaviors and making intentional efforts to change, anyone can break free from these cycles. Understanding that stupidity is a habit rather than a trait is liberating. It shifts the focus from self-judgment to self-awareness. Instead of labeling ourselves or others as stupid, we can analyze the underlying patterns that lead to unwise actions. This perspective allows for change, improvement, and growth, as it emphasizes the power of choice over the permanence of character. Stupidity as a habit often stems from comfort zones. People cling to what feels familiar even if it no longer serves them. They may choose to remain in toxic relationships, stay in jobs that limit their potential, or maintain beliefs that no longer align with reality, all because change feels daunting. This comfort with the status quo reinforces behaviors that prevent them from achieving their full potential. Breaking the habit of stupidity requires intentionality. It starts with self-reflection, identifying the behaviors, attitudes, or choices that no longer serve us. Once we recognize these patterns, we can begin to replace them with smarter, more productive actions. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that demands patience, consistency, and effort. In conclusion, recognizing that stupidity is a habit, not a trait, empowers us to take control of our behaviors and decisions. It shifts the narrative from one of permanence to one of potential. By understanding that unproductive actions stem from learned patterns, we can break free from cycles of poor choices and replace them with habits that align with growth, reflection, and responsibility. Through self-awareness, intentional effort, and a willingness to learn, we can transform not only our actions but also the trajectory of our lives.